Welcome back to the channel. Now we are going to see regarding the concept of database architecture, data independence and languages. So coming to the concept database architecture, it is a we can call this as a three-level architecture. Here in this three-level architecture, we are going to have external level, conceptual level and internal level. The external level is also called as external schema. Conceptual level is also called as conceptual schema. Internal level is called internal schema. And the next thing we have to know in the regarding database management system is data independence. The data independence is that whatever the data we are is present in our database, whatever the database it is, either it may be SQL or PLSQL or Oracle or PostgreSQL, any database should work like whatever the update or delete operation we are performing for a certain row in a table, it should not affect remaining data which is present in the table. Means that particular row should react independently without depending on any other values. Next, database languages. There are different languages in a database for performing insertion, updation, deletion. So we will see these in database languages in upcoming slides. So these why these database languages are used means for performing various updations, deletions, operations in our table. So this is an architecture of a database. In architecture of database, we are having external schema, conceptual level schema, and internal schema. So let us see regarding this working of architecture. So external schema view will be different from one user to the another user. So the external schema views will be different as per the user point of view. For example, there is a timetable of CSE and ECE. The external schema, everything will be in the same database, but the view of the table will be different from ECE student to a CSE student. Conceptual schema means it is an schema where it shows the relationship between. So coming to the concept of conceptual schema, this conceptual schema provides the relationship between the tables which are present in our database. So it describes the entities, attributes and relationship between the tables which are present in our database. Coming to the internal schema is a very lowest level in our database. The internal schema describes how the data is stored and it describes the structure of the data, what it is storing. While performing the internal schema, the following things that we have to consider is we have to see in terms of storage allocation how much amount of data it is uh, how much amount of storage space it is carrying, and access path and as miscellaneous. These are the things. So this is an example of external schema, conceptual schema and view schema. In external schema, it depends on view for one person to another person. Here is for sales officer, the view will be different, and inventory controller, the view will be different. In a conceptual schema, we are going to write a concept for each and every one. Means what are the items we are available based upon the item number, item name, price and stock. Here the item number is in a character type, item name is character type, price will be in a numerical type and stock will be a numerical type. Next, physical level means whatever the things we are writing, that the physical level defines how much amount of storage it is taking, occupying, etc. Storage items length 50. Item, it is a byte type of 6 bytes. Name, it is a byte type of 30 bytes. Price, a byte of 8 bytes. Stock, bytes of 4 bytes. Means how much amount of data it is occupying for storing each and every individual record, it is saying in the physical level. Next, data independence. Already I told the data independence means whatever the data we are is there in our database, the data should be stored and data should be retrieved, data should be deleted. Whatever the operation we are performing, it should be happen without depending on any other values or records in our table. And whatever the records are there in our table, if we are performing any operation or update or delete operation, it should not reflect to another attributes which are present in another records which are present in our table. So the main purpose of this data independence is whatever the changes we are performing over the time, it is very important to be done, and the it is very important to should not be affect the data in our database. This is what the main thing I already discussed. So next, coming to the levels of data independence, there are two levels of data independence. First one is physical level and logical level. Physical level is a independence is a thing that which is the ability to modify the physical schema without making the necessary things to rewrite the application programs. And coming to the logical schema is the ability to modify conceptual scheme without making the necessary to rewrite the program. Coming to the DBMS languages, this is a very important concept. DBMS languages, there are various DBMS languages like DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL. Let us see regarding each and every languages. There are few keywords that we have to remember in each and every languages. Coming to DDL, DDL is defined as data definition language, which can be used to define the data what we are stored in our database schema. And DDL simply deals with the description, what type of data we have used for creating or modifying the data, whatever we do. The commands which comes under the DDL is create, modify, delete. These are the things comes under DDL. DML is means data modification language, means whatever the data we are having in our database, means what are the commands we can use for modifying the data will comes under the DML languages. In the DML language, whatever the data present, it the DML is going to control, and as well as it is going to access the data what is present in the database, like update, delete. These are the things comes under the DML language. Next, DCL language. DCL language is data control language, means the DCL is having a command of giving access permissions to the data and revoking the access permissions to the data. So for giving access permission for the data or whatever the tables we are having in our database, we can use a command called grant. By using a grant command, we can give access permissions. In the same way, by using a revoke operation, we can take back the permissions whatever we have granted. Next, TCL. TCL means transaction control language. In the TCL, we are having three operations like commit, rollback, and save point. Commit is nothing but a save, means whatever the operation we have performed, by using a commit command, we can save the particular task. Rollback means whatever the operation we have saved, we have to go back to the previous step. We will perform rollback operation. Save point, while performing one particular task, if you want to save at the particular point of time, then you can use a save point command. Data query language. Data query language is a statement which is used to organize the queries in a standard manner in our database. Here for a data query language, you use a select command for performing these operations. So the result of the statement is a collection of tables which is compiled in new temporary table, means while performing the result, whatever the result you have gained from the table, it is going to generate in a new table, and it is going to show the result to the user. So these are the various database languages which everything you can see in a single slide. So DDL commands create, drop, alter, truncate. DML insert, update, delete. DCL grant, revoke. TCL commit, rollback, save point, and DCL select. So next, what are the various tools we are going to use? Means data dictionary. Next, data dictionary is nothing but it is going to store it is going to have a complete information regarding database whatever we are using in the terms of designing, decisions, application point of view, description point of view, user information point of view, user standard point of view. Next, whatever the active data dictionaries are there, we can access by database administrator. Passive dictionary data can be accessed by administrator only. Next, types of database. These are the general types of database like object based database, hierarchical database, network database, relation database. Now let us see each and every one. Object database means it is going to have things like entities, attributes, and relationships. Hierarchical database will be stored in a hierarchical manner, means a tree structure. It is one of the oldest database mechanism. Information management system is one based on this model. So this is the general architecture of hierarchical mechanism. You can see the example here. We are having general manager. Below the general manager, we are having deputy general managers. Under deputy general manager, there are various departments like sales department, advertisement department, and in another general manager, deputy general manager is having production department and quality department. Under every department, there are multiple number of employees who works. Next, network database. The network database is represents the data which in the form of a graph. The main difference between the network model and the hierarchical model is it is going to going to represent in the form of a relations. So here the relation mechanism is defined in the form of a tables. Here whatever the data we are representing in a database, first thing we have to represent is the table database information in the database will be stored in the form of a tables only. So here we can perform various operations like insert, delete, update, truncate, grant, revoke, all the things we can perform in a table. First of all, the database table and the relation of the database was developed by IBM company in the year of 1960s. So this is the general information regarding basic information. Coming to the summary of the concept, so whatever the DBMS architecture shows the general view how the database will be of the information will be stored by the three level architecture to the users, and how the connection will be established. It going to helps to improve the database efficiency and helps to design and helps to maintain the things in an organization. Whatever the data we are storing, the data depends upon the architecture. The architecture can be designed in a based on the requirement, either in a form of a centralized manner or decentralized manner or hierarchical manner or tree structure. So this is the general concept regarding database architecture and data independence.